Hello everyone, this is Kalle Max again from VRfounders. Welcome to the next video. This time it's about real sales figures in VR, as well as I can report them. Once again, sorry for the technical laziness of this video and of course my German accent, but it's the one I got, and I rather spend more time on my other VR projects, so I'm going to keep this simple, but I hope it will still be interesting. So yes, as I said, some real solid numbers. Maybe you already know that I made this game Rainbow Reactor with 4 friends. We all work in the film industry normally, and yeah, we're all super crazy for VR, from when we first tried it in, I think, 2016, because that was when I got my PSVR in November, and my buddy Tom, who's the art director, bought a Vive. And yeah, we were totally out of our minds about how crazy this is and how cool it is. And we know a lot about making computer generated imagery. Tom and Henrik, who is the other main graphics guy, they work on movies like Game of Thrones and all the Marvel stuff, Black Panther, Guardians of the Galaxy. There's a lot of these visual effects that are being made in Germany, and they are among the artists who do them. And yeah, so they really put a lot of effort into creating this factory where the game takes place. It's really insanely detailed, and yeah, even if the game's principle isn't for everybody, people agree that it's a very polished game. Yeah, so far we've been doing kind of almost all right. These are like real sales figures from us. This is Rainbow Reactor here, and you can see here the lifetime Steam revenue of the game after like 10 months on sale is a little bit over $5,000, which doesn't sound too bad, but of course that there are taxes that are deducted, and of course there are returns. Like you can see, for example, here that 8% of all Steam units that have been sold have also been refunded. I don't know if this number 8% is good or bad, or I don't know, would be interesting to hear from some more devs about it, about their numbers. But the thing is, then also Steam takes a third of the money, of course. They give us 70% and they take 30%, so that's not a full third, but close to a third. And also, I guess it's pretty fair because they got the platform and everything and run everything, and also give you a lot of help with tools and stuff. So they kind of really liberated or helped to liberate the gaming market and to create indie games in the first place, which is awesome. But on the other hand, it really doesn't leave much for us. And I can tell you that I have, as like the main guy, like the boss of this production, I have gotten 2,500 euros for this game. And the thing is that I already had to spend 5,000 euros to get the game made, because even though we put in every weekend over a period of 1.5 years, we put in 1 or 2 days each of us, so it's a crazy amount of time. And if we would have gotten like a moderate amount of money for what's the usual wages, the game would have cost about 75,000 euros in wages, so if you have 2,500 euros after a year, that is not very good, and makes you think if you can do a second game. At the moment it looks a little bit that we're saying, well, it wouldn't be the cleverest thing we could do, which is sad because we totally love VR, and I can imagine that some of you will think now, well, but this game is probably crappy. It's like one of these mobile phone games, but still the thing is, I wouldn't be sitting here and making this video or starting the site VRfounders if not for the fact that I made the following observation. I'm going to go to a private window now, so I'm not logged into Steam here anymore. This is why this is all in German, since I'm in Germany and it's a private browsing now. It's German, but just bear with me here. I think you will recognize everything. For example, if I go to search now, you got all these filters here on the right hand side, and I'm going to press only VR now. Yeah, so these are all the games that only run when you have a VR headset. And of course, Beat Saber is at the number 1. That's no surprise. And you can see here that these are sorted by relevance. It's almost the same in German, Relevanz. And so the interesting thing is I got 157 pages of games here, and every page has 25 entries. So we can quickly calculate this because I'm not really good at maths. So we got 3,925 VR-only games in Steam. And the interesting thing is that I can go through these pages now. Of course, I already had a look beforehand, so I don't have to search for ages now. But if I go to page 11 now, you will see that Rainbow Reactor is here, It's in the middle of page 11, right? And so that means when there are 157 pages, that means everything up to page 15 is the top 10% of all VR-only games in Steam. That's kind of insane. So that means we're in the top 10%. And I know many of you will probably say now, yes, no surprise, there's so much crap in VR. No wonder if you have a halfway working game that you're in the top 10%. But even that I can kind of disprove, because if I step through these pages further, you will see, since they're sorted by relevance, they also mind the ratings, and you can see all these games here have a thumb up, and you only get this thumb up once you have 10 ratings that are not by influencers or curators, as Steam calls them, or people who have gotten the game for free, so you gotta have 10 people who really bought the game, and you can see now I'm on page 55. Now I am in the mixed review thing, which is shown by this tilt symbol here. So these games have mixed reviews, and let me see, I'm going one page back to 54. Yeah, it's still the same here, so maybe let's try page 52. Okay, so page 52, we have all thumbs up. The whole page is all thumbs up. And that means that, now here it switches to mixed on page 53. So that means 1/3 of the games on Steam are rated positive. And that means if we're on page 11, we're still in the top 20% of good VR games. And we have made 2,500 euros for a game that would have cost 75,000 to make, so we have to get 30 times the amount we have now after almost a year to make it kind of worthwhile. And I thought that was shocking, that we are in an area where we'll never make any money with this game. Maybe we'll break even in a year if we're lucky, and the 5,000 euro we had to spend for things like licenses and voice acting and music and sound effects, we will make that back, but what about the the 200 weekends we spent all together, working on this, if you count the days from each of the 4 of us. So yeah, that's really a bit devastating, I think, and that was what made me think we really have to talk about it. And another thing I want to bring to your attention, because I still guess that many of you will say, well, but Rainbow Reactor, what's Rainbow Reactor? I've never heard of this game, so you gotta make more advertisement or whatever. That is something I could totally understand, but also for this I have a disapproval. So this is VR Game Critic, a really cool site. It's like Metacritic, obviously, for VR games, and they collect reviews. I think they have a really good range. I think they catch almost every review that's written on a VR game, and they compile these scores. So here you have this game release highlights this November section. And you can even see the thumbnail picture here. That is the game, The Curious Case of the Stolen Pets here, right? From Fast Travel Games. These are the people who also made Budget Cuts, and that's a really cool game that was hyped quite a bit in VR. And now they got this new game, The Curious Tale of the Stolen Pets, which is a cute game. I've also played it myself. It only lasts for 90 minutes at max, so it's over pretty quickly. but it only costs $15. And I mean, if you go to the movies and have a drink or a snack and watch the film, you also paid $15 for 90 minutes of entertainment. So anyhow, you can see that these are all the sites that have posted a review about the game, and you can see here it's 26 reviews in all, right? So I can expand this, and you can see all these websites posted a review, and you also got this VR Game Critics score here, this meta score, and it's really good, you know. So it's 77 overall score. And now, if I go to the Steam search again, and maybe I'll just go to the page where Rainbow Reactor was page 11. So there we have Rainbow Reactor, right? And now I go to page 10. It's not on page 10, all right. Not on page 9 either. But it is on page 8, as you can see here. Yeah, and I mean, page 8 for this game, when we are on page 11, and let me show another thing. I already showed you this developer page from Steamworks. There you can see that the last time we sold a copy of Rainbow Reactor was on 2nd of December at 5 p.m. and now it's the 3rd of December and it's like 9 p.m. right? So it's more than 24 hours since we sold one copy of the game. And before that, you can see one copy, yeah, 2 copies, 1 copy, 2, 1, nothing. And still we are on page 11 of all VR games on Steam. And if you still think that's not convincing enough, have a look at this. There's the site called Steam Charts, which we have here. And here you can see how many people play Rainbow Reactor each day, you know. So that was a similar chart to what you just saw. You see here it's compared to the Curious Tale of the Stolen Pets, and these guys have 5 players, 7 players, more or less on launch day, right? Can you imagine that? It's just been released. It came out here on November 16th. It's horrible. It's just insane, you know. And yeah, now let's go to Beat Saber as a comparison, and you see now the two of us are reduced to nothing, and Beat Saber has, depending on the day of the week, between 2,000 and 1,500 players who played at the same time. So that's really not bad, you know. But yeah, let's just type in the name of some other game. For example, we can go to Steam search again and just, you know, go to see everything. Then we see, for example, okay, so Destiny 2, of course, is free to play now, so I wouldn't necessarily count it. But oh yeah, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is a good example. You know, it just came out. Everybody's in the Star Wars mood for Christmas already. So let's try. Maybe if I just type in Jedi. Oh, there it is already. Okay, cool. So, and you see, this game started with 64,000 people who played it at the same time on launch day. So that is 10,000 times more than the Curious Tale of the Stolen Pets, you know. And then okay, it went down, and then it's like 12,000. Okay, so that's only 5 times more than Beat Saber, you know. So wow, Beat Saber is really doing well, or Jedi Fallen Order isn't doing so well. But again, let's have a closer look at this. Let's go to the Steam store again. Maybe I go here, and we go to the search again, and I press only VR. So now we got the top VR games, right? So you can see here Beat Saber is number 1, and then we have Skyrim VR. So let's see how Skyrim VR is doing. There it is, and wow, look at that. Like on average, they got 150, 200. They got exactly 10% of what Beat Saber has on Steam. Imagine this. It's the second best game in this list, the second most relevant VR only game on Steam, and it's only got 10% as many players as Beat Saber. Yeah, and by the way, another absolutely concrete number I can share with you is the following. If I go to page, I think 20, no, not here. There you have it. Rose Baker's Icy Treats, the VR Iceman sim. So this is a game where you sell ice cream in space, and it's a really nice game. And the developers of this game, Catching Kobolds, they did write to VRfounders, and they told us on Twitter that they sell less than 200 units of this game, you know. So they didn't even sell 200 copies of Rose Baker's Icy Treats, and they are on page 22, you know. So that means Rainbow Reactor is bad on page 11, but on page 22 there's nothing, you know. You've just seen, I mean, the game costs $5. Yeah, that's their selling price, $5.99. No, 4.99 euros. So it's probably also $5. And they didn't even make $1,000 gross, you know. It's beyond words, actually. And if you go to VRfounders on Twitter again, they worked on this game 1.5 years, you know, so same as Rainbow Reactor, and they had less than 200 sales, and still they are on page 22 of all VR only games in Steam. Crazy. Just crazy if you ask me. And yeah, maybe now that you know these numbers, you will understand why we started this VRfounders page, because everybody has the same problem. And all the content creators like YouTubers, streamers, journalists, bloggers, and of course the game and app developers, we need some more support, and all together we can make VR great. Maybe not overnight, but I know if you all sit down 10 minutes a day and make some noise on social media, and maybe try to spend a little bit more money, you know, like $5 every week or something like this, it will make a huge difference, an extremely big difference. So we can change these numbers, because from our standpoint, you know, even if everybody who bought Rainbow Reactor would have bought it at our normal price of $15, where many people say, wow, why $15? This looks like a $5 game. Maybe it looks like a $5 game. I'm the wrong person to ask, but we just can't continue like this, you know. If we would have gotten these $15 for everybody who bought Rainbow Reactor, we would already have made our investment back. And this was our goal, you know. We said, let's make our money back, and everything we earn on top of that, we will invest it into our new game. We already got 2 more ideas in our drawer and want to start making a new game. But honestly, it feels kind of stupid to do that now, you know, now that we know how the reality is and how the numbers are. Yeah, so that if you think this looks like a $5 game, you may be right, but in VR it's all different, because it's all just 10% of the normal games industry. That's the problem, and that's why we want to change it. And if we achieve this VR Founder Challenge, which maybe sounds a bit naive, to improve all the numbers by 10, if we can make it, then everybody is fine. Then it works for everyone, you know. And I think really it's not that hard to do. Together we can do it. Together we will make it, for we are VRfounders. Yeah. Thank you for watching this video, and if you found it interesting, I'll hopefully make more videos soon you can check out. So subscribe to this channel and like it, but more importantly, watch all these other fantastic YouTubers and subscribe and like their stuff. They're more important than I am. So get out there and be a true VR founder. Yay! um,